Hi, and welcome back to the Insta Gamers Network. Today we're going to be talking about travel games. Now, what constitutes as a travel game? Just something that's small and portable, or something that you play on the trip, on the bus or plane or wherever you're going? Well, there are going to be 10 different people and 10 different opinions, and they're going to tell you what their favorite travel games are. So let's not waste any time and just jump straight to it.
Hello Internet, welcome back. Today, we're going to take a look at one of my favorite games I like to take with me when I travel. Bus, designed by Chris Handy and part of the Paco Games series, is a great little pick up and deliver game for 2 to 3 players. You simply drive your bus throughout the city, picking up passengers at various bus stop locations, and then dropping those passengers at the corresponding colored locations that match the card. Once a player has completed 5 of these passenger cards, it triggers an endgame where each player gets one more turn. At the end of those turns, they tally up the number here in the center, and the person with the most points wins the game. So Bus is my favorite game I like to take with me while I travel. It's small enough you can throw it in a bag or even in your pocket, but it's packed full of some fun and really enjoyable gameplay, and you can pretty much do it anywhere. Now, Chris has developed a lot of these small little games, and I've had a chance to play a few, but I'd love to hear some of your favorites in the comments below. Have a great day!
Hi everyone, and welcome to another segment with To Die For Games. I'm Mandy, the board gaming pinup girl.
I'm Tracy, the gaming maven.
And I'm Steph, the games teacher.
Whoosh, whoosh. Yeah, that's supposed to be my like swimmy noises. Today we're going to talk about Deep Sea Adventure. So we're talking about our favorite travel game.
Deep Sea Adventure is published by Oink Games, designed by Jun Sasaki, plays 2 to 6 players in about 30 minutes.
Super easy game. You roll some dice, you add the dice total, you move down or up back to the sub. However, if you have treasure, you have to subtract the amount of treasure you have from the total, means you move slower.
So yeah, you don't want to be stuck without oxygen. Every time you pick up one of these bad boys, comes around to your turn, oxygen drops. And that affects everyone, not just you.
The round will end when the oxygen meter gets down to the bottom and the sub runs out of oxygen for the divers. Any divers stuck outside of the sub pass out from lack of oxygen and lose all of the treasure, which drops to the bottom of the sea.
Exactly. So they're just down here, but these little suckers have points. So we definitely want to make sure that you're getting these. The lower you go, more points.
You only get to keep them if you make it back to the sub.
That's right. So 3 rounds, you've got to get all that treasure back to the submarine. So cross your fingers that it happens. And that's really the basis of Deep Sea Adventure. I really love this game. I love the colors. Anything that's bright, vibrant like this. The size of the box. I usually just pop that thing in my little fanny pack. Yes, I wear a fanny pack. Especially at conventions. Quite handy. And pop that in there, pull it out, play a game.
I like it because you can really mess with other players. You can like take a whole bunch of treasure and race back before they can get there. With their one little treasure, they don't even get back to the sub. So sometimes you leave them locked to the sub just on purpose.
It's a really fun game, especially if you're playing with the right group of people that have a good sense of humor. There's lots of opportunities for laughter with this one.
Yeah, definitely meets the whole press your luck mechanic or theme.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that works out. So that's our pick, Deep Sea Adventures. Hope you guys enjoyed. Check it out. See you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Hi, I'm the Board Game Renegade, and as you already know based on the title of this video, I will be talking about a travel game. And now I'm going to speak about a game that I've been taking with me quite often these days, and that is Rise of Augustus from Hurricane Games. Now I know what you're thinking, how could this guy take that game everywhere he goes? The box is massive, and the answer is quite simple. The entire game fits into this little bag that actually comes in here. This box is a waste of space, and that is a different subject matter for a different time. So let's take this box, get it out of the way, and let me tell you a little bit about this game. In Rise of Augustus, the theme is then you're trying to gain some senators on your side and you're supposed to conquer some lands, yada yada yada. But essentially this game is like bingo. All the players have cards in front of them that they need to complete. And the way this is done is that in every round there is a player that is considered the town crier, and he sticks his hand into this bag and he pulls out one of these tokens, and then this one is a shield. All of the players would then have a chance to place one of their wooden meeples on a shield. They could put it on any one of their shields, but they could only place one at a time. And then the town crier would draw another one. These are swords, and there are various symbols, and this continues to go like this until the town crier pulls out this joker here, which is a wild. Now all of the players can place one of their meeples wherever they like on any one, and then the bag will go to the player to the left, which is clockwise. And then gameplay continues like this, and as this happens, players will be completing the cards. Once they cover all of the symbols on the left of the cards, they have completed the card. They put the card in front of them to the side, and some of these cards give you different scoring conditions or different bonuses that happen throughout the game, but all of them or most of them give you points that also count towards the end of the game. And then once a player completes a card, he takes one from the center and then he flips a new one in its place. There are also ways to get bonus points, such as here, here, and here. These are all different ways to get bonus points throughout the game. And that is pretty much it. Once one player has collected 7 of these cards and completed 7 of these cards, that is the final round, and then the players tally their points. The player with the most points is the winner. So Rise of Augustus makes an excellent travel game because, like I said, the entire game fits in this little bag, and it is as easy to play as bingo. It is bingo. In fact, if the local senior center was playing this on Thursday nights instead of bingo, I'd throw on a gray wig and walk in there and play because I really enjoy this game. Anyway, folks, thank you for watching the video, and until next time, peace out.
I feel like I'm forgetting something. Oh no! Today's the trip to my grandma's, and I forgot to pack. Am I forgetting anything? Of course, a game. Yep, that's not gonna work. I know, maybe this. Hello everyone, my name's Annette, and you might know me on social media as Netters Plays. Well, the game that I recommend for travel is Tiny Epic Galaxies. It's a small little compact game that you can pretty much take anywhere. And also it offers a lot of gameplay in this box. So let me go ahead and show you what's inside and why I like it so much. Alright, let me show you what's inside this box of Tiny Epic Galaxies. So in Tiny Epic Galaxies, you have, of course, the rule book, and then you have these different cards and little bits. So these cards can either be secret missions, or you can also have different types of planets. So you have a large deck of cards here to play, and you have a whole bunch of little bits. But you can just keep them in the box if you're out somewhere and you don't want to lose a piece. Each player will also get their individual player mat. And so you can play either between 1 and 5 players. And also the game uses the box lid as a dice tray. So when you're playing the game, you can easily just throw the dice in and play your game. So in Tiny Epic Galaxies, you're pretty much traveling across the galaxies and trying to collect different planets. And what you could do is, based on the roll, you're going to go ahead and either land on these planets or you're going to orbit around them and collect different resources. But you also have a secret mission. Each individual player is going to have a secret mission where they'll gain a certain amount of points at the very end. So this box offers a lot of play, and it's really fun, and it's easy to teach too. So you can easily teach it to anyone, like your grandma. Wait, I better go.
Oh hey Al, you must be wondering where I'm going. Well, that's not important. What's important is what I'm bringing with me, and it's not in this bag. What is it, you may ask? Great curiosity. Let me explain. Costume Party, a fantastic card game for 3 to 7 players. How do you play? awesome curiosity once again. So how it works is you're going to get a hand of 3 cards. Now keep in mind, there's 6 types of cards in this game. So I'm going to pull out those 6. And I'm going to go over it. So I'm going to take my hand of 3. There it is. What do I do with this hand? Well, each card does something completely different. For example, the Ghost gives you +1 for every costume worn at the last party. The Vampire lets you steal a point from the player to the lead. Now, what are you stealing? What does this all mean? Give me a second. So what you're doing is you're going to be playing cards from your hand onto the table. Everyone's doing this. While you're doing this, you're going to collect points. How points work? Well, being that each card has their own actions, you'll be following the actions. So whether you're getting points from previous turns or from after turns, or if you're using the mummy and you prevent somebody from getting points. So after the first set of actions, you move on to costume party. And how that works is everyone has to have a unique costume. And if you don't get points. But if you do, you get 3. Now, there is a fun card that's actually gives you 6 points. And what that does is it has a head and a tail. And when you have both these played in turn, you will get 6 points. Now, throughout this game, you are bluffing, you are social inducing, and you are talking to all your opponents, making sure that you either play the right cards in order to get more points, that you're not going to play a certain card because you promised not to, or you're just lying and you're going to do it anyways. But why I chose this game for my travel is because of how small it is and how simple it fits right into my pocket.
Hello, my name's Joe Sondow, and today we're talking about travel games. I want to talk to you about Batman Love Letter. This game is inspired entirely by the original Love Letter. Love Letter has some very pretty art on it that represents a princess and people who work in a castle, and an attempt by each player to gain the romantic favor of that princess by sending her love letters. Batman Love Letter has some art that I prefer, has a setting that I find more interesting, and some rules that actually make the game a little bit more fun. In Batman Love Letter, you are trying to catch the most dastardly villain in Gotham City. Shuffle the deck. Set aside 1 card that is secret to everyone. For 2 players, you are supposed to turn 3 cards face up. Then each player receives 1 card. On a player's turn, they draw 1 additional card, so they have 2 cards in their hand. They decide which of the 2 they wish to play, and they play it in front of them, and they activate the text that's on the card. When you play one of the 5 Batman cards, you name a card that the other player may have in their hand other than Batman, and if they have that card, the player is out of the round. If you play a Catwoman card, you get to look at another player's hand. If you play a Bane card, you compare your hands secretly with another player. The player with the lower hand is out of the round. Playing a Robin card protects you from the effects of other people's cards. Poison Ivy makes one player discard their hand and draw a different hand. If you play Two-Face, you trade hands with another player. Harley Quinn is special. If you have Harley Quinn in your hand and you also have Two-Face or Poison Ivy, you must discard Harley Quinn, even though she's a higher number. If you discard the Joker for any reason, you are out of the round. It is the highest valued card and you want to hold on to it. There are a couple of rule changes in Batman Love Letter from original Love Letter. One is that the game ends when a player has 7 Batman tokens, regardless of the number of players. Another is that if someone guesses another player's hand correctly, then they get an additional Batman token for guessing, unless it's Robin, because you have to capture a villain to gain an additional token. So if you're at all a fan of comic books and comic book imagery, I do recommend giving Batman Love Letter a try. Have fun!
Hi guys, I'm Trevor from Family and Games, and today we're going to talk about one of our family's favorite travel games, Quicks. It's a game by Gamewright. It's for 2 to 5 players, and it's recommended for ages 8 and above. However, if your young ones can count to 12 and they can do basic math with numbers up to 6, they'll be just fine. So this is a score-based dice game. The objective is to get the highest score before the game is over, and the person with the highest score is the winner. So in this game, you get 6 dice, 2 white, 4 colored, and you get game cards. Each player gets a game card. Now there's 2 basic roles you play in the game. There's the active player who's rolling the dice that round, and there's everybody else who is marking off of their card based off of what was rolled. So you use combinations of dice to determine what numbers to mark off on the card. So the active player is going to roll the dice. The rest of the players will use the sum of the 2 white dice to pick any number on the card that matches that sum to mark off. The active player will do the same, but then they will get to go another round and then we'll pick 1 white dice, and one of the colored dice to choose something on their card within the color they picked to mark off on their card. Now, the non-active players don't need to pick a number to mark off. They can choose to do nothing, but the active player needs to do at least one thing. If he doesn't, he gets a penalty. So this game moves from left to right. You pick numbers to mark, and you can't go further left than the last number that was X'd out. The objective is to get as many X's marked off in this card, each row, as you can. And the more X's you have in each row by the time the game ends, the higher your score is. There's a chart at the bottom of here that shows you how many X's equals how many points. You fill out the squares at the bottom and you add up your total, and that tells you the winner. We like this game a lot. It's super quick. There is some strategy to it. And one thing we really love is that everybody gets to play every round. You're never waiting on somebody else to go. So if you like Dice Game and you're looking for something to travel with, we think you might like this one. You should give it a try. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Bye.
Hello, it's Chumbo Gamer here. And today on Insta Gamers Network, we'll be taking a look at games we like to take when we go travelling. So I've got to travel now, incidentally. So I thought, what a perfect time to actually show you one of the games I like to take with me. And a game that's always worth putting in your backpack is this one. Kobayakawa. Plays 3 to 6, and it's perfect when you're doing that road trip to visit some mates. Okay, so there's a few things about the game you should know. Firstly, even though the box is small, it is still ridiculously big for the game. The game is based just on 15 cards. That's the guts of the game right there. So, really all you need to do to save some travel space, and so it's easy in your luggage, is to whack them in a zip-type bag and you're good to go. Kobayakawa also comes with this bag of tokens you can use to bet with. But I tend to leave these at home too when I'm travelling and just use whatever's in my surroundings. So if I'm camping, I'll use pebbles or feathers or leaves. If I'm at the beach, I'll collect some seashells to use to bet with. You can also use, other gaming components, poker chips, or my personal favourite, chocolates. Everyone is dealt one card and given 4 tokens. There's a common supply of tokens in the middle of the table. The rest of the cards form a draw deck and one card is turned face up. During your turn there's a couple of choices you can make. The first happens during the draw phase. The first choice you can make is you can either draw a card from the central pile and add it to your hand. You can then compare your cards and decide to discard one face up in front of you. The second choice you can make is to not do that, but instead just flip a card face up on top of the pile. The next choice you make happens during the fight phase. You can choose to pass and do nothing based on whatever's in your hand, or you can choose to bet using one of the tokens. Then everybody reveals their hand. Whoever has the highest card wins, but the catch is whoever has the lowest card can add the value of the card that's in the middle of the table. In this case, they probably win. The winner takes a loot plus a chocolate from the middle of the table. Whoever has the most chocolates after 7 turns is the winner. So that's how you play Kobayakawa. I've arrived at my mate's place now, so it's time to win some chocolates. See you all on Instagram.
Now I know what you must be thinking. How can a game in a box this big be considered a travel game? Well, I'm going to show you how Escape from the Aliens in Outer Space packs small, plays big, and it's a game that you can play anywhere. And I mean anywhere! Okay, so maybe you can't play it anywhere. Escape from the Aliens in Outer Space is definitely a game with very few pieces. It's mainly a deck of cards, some dry erase markers, and a few maps. This means if you wanted to travel without the box, you could throw all of this into a small bag. But the box isn't really that big to begin with, and it uses the space inside very efficiently. The best part is the ability to play this game without a table. You may need some place to put the cards when you draw and discard, but it's not 100% necessary. On top of that, the game is mainly played in your mind. You use the whiteboard booklet to track movements that you merely think about. Each player manages this on their own without having to reference a centralized board of any sort. There are no other pieces, chits, or dice to deal with. And the game is amazeballs. Have you ever played a hidden movement game before? Everyone has a map, everyone starts in specific places, and every turn you secretly choose where to move and sometimes drop clues depending on the cards you draw. That's it. The humans try to escape, the aliens try to feed, and you have 40 turns to succeed either way. But the drama, the tension, the feeling you get when you start to realize where some of the other players are on the map is incredible. This was best described by my cousin LJ when he first played this game by exclaiming, "Man, this is fun right off the bat." I've played a few other fleshed out hidden movement games like Spectre Ops or Fury of Dracula, but the simplicity and streamlined gameplay of Escape from the Aliens in Outer Space is just so clean, easy to grasp, and fun that I prefer to play it more than the other games. And if you ever do want to try playing it in the bathroom, you probably can.
There's noise in Sector G13. You sunk my battleship! Wrong game!
Hey guys, Mills Plays Tabletop here from the Insta Gamers Network, and we're talking about our favorite travel games that we like to take with us on our road trips, visiting relatives, going over to a friend's house, going to a restaurant, wherever, right? You're going somewhere. And my favorite travel game is Star Realms. I mean, it's so tiny, right? It's such a tiny little box, and it's so cute and so adorable. Hello. Oh, I'm sorry. It's a deck building game. You can easily acquire this on Amazon for $10, $15, and it packs a huge punch for such a small game. I mean, all it is just cards, really, and it's really easy to set up anywhere, but it has a lot of replay value as well. Game takes about 10 to 15 minutes to play. Goes by really fast. If you played deck builders before, some of them can drag on a little bit, but this game is very aggressive because you're directly attacking players instead of just collecting victory points. I should probably explain a little bit more about the game itself, right? So let's get into that really quick, show you how the game is played, and then give you my final thoughts as to why you should include this in your go-to bag when you're traveling. Okay, so this is the setup of Star Realms. You have your main deck right here. You've got your shop, or what I like to call a shop, and then you have cards over here that are always available. What you're attempting to do is you're given a pre-made deck in the beginning of the game, and then using resources such as gold, you purchase cards and you add them to your deck. And then in the future, you can use these cards that you purchase to create combos and annihilate your opponent. Unlike most deck building games where you're just acquiring victory points, in this game you're trying to directly attack your opponent, and each person who's playing gets 50 points of life. Marked on the cards in red, it tells you how many points you're going to be doing of damage, and then some cards also offer a gold amount in which it allows you to purchase more cards. The first player to go down to 0 loses. And the unique thing about this game that I enjoy a lot is the combo system, right? So if you're playing a green card and you play another green card, they have a combo effect in which it allows you to do more things. And so it makes for a very interesting play. Some people prefer to play with just one color. Other people like to combine colors. And you're basically customizing your deck as you go. So it's a lot of replay value because the cards that appear here can be different, most of the time. And that's pretty much it. That's the entire game. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video about my favorite travel game, which is Star Realms. And I hope that you guys will add it to your bag and take it with you guys soon so you guys can experience how awesome this game is anywhere you go. Thanks for watching, guys.
So that's it for travel games. We hope that you enjoyed this episode. If there are any games that you think we might have missed, put it in the comments below. And while you're down there, don't forget to like and subscribe. And we'll see you on the next episode. See you next time.